the Kickstarter to literally everything in your business. I hope you guys took down all the different ways that you can prospect, but it's like, it's not about how, somebody taught this to me, it's not about what you say to somebody as much as it is to how often you say it in general. It's not about what you say. There's not like some magical phrase that if you say it in this perfect way, then everyone's going to start saying yes to you. No, you have to just say it enough times to find the right people that'll say yes to you, right? So I'm going to train on field training today because in my opinion, that is the biggest reason why people take advantage of the Primerica opportunity. If you don't field train somebody, you are in sales by definition. And when you're in sales, you wake up every single day broke. Basically, you have to restart your journey all over again. Every single day is a new day. So here are some keys to field training. When you're field training, the main focus is to focus on the 7 fundamentals. I don't have all of them on here, but I have the ones that have to do with field training the most on here. My mentality is distribution. I want to create a distribution hub where I'm just popping out producers and field trainers like crazy. Every single field train agent or broker is another outlet. And the more outlets I have, the more production I'm going to generate. I can't create a factory that spits out production like clockwork every single month if I'm not teaching other people how to go out and get a sale. See, Tia and Peter just taught you how to set an appointment. But in my opinion, it means nothing if you're not teaching it to other people. You've got to field train the recruits that you bring into this business. They have to understand what they're doing, right? They're setting appointments. They just went over that. A winning presentation. That's one of the 7 fundamentals. Mastering your products. One thing I teach our guys in Michigan all the time is nothing's more important as someone becoming a field trainer than products and presentation. Products and presentation. You must master these 2 things if you want to really break the bank here in a passive way. Because if you don't have a solid presentation, you're going to falter when you're in the appointment. You're not going to be teaching good habits to the recruits that you bring in. You have to have a great, like a spot on presentation, overcoming objections and recruiting the client. Recruiting the client is big. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but we actually have picked up several recruits in the last, 2 to 3 weeks, just by field training. The client having a bad product. See, I knew my products, right? They had a bad product. I slammed it, tore it apart, and they were furious. But you can capitalize on the client's, if this is a word, furiousness, right? You can capitalize that by recruiting them and having them tell their story to future clients. Nothing is more impactful than a client's story that got taken advantage of in this industry. Nothing's more. Look, facts tell, stories sell. Big time. I was talking to a recruit that Isaiah got via LinkedIn. Shout out to Isaiah in South Carolina. He recruited a teacher in Charleston, South Carolina, where Bruce lives. And he was telling me, he's a teacher, right? So he was telling me about one of his students that unfortunately his father passed away and the mother couldn't afford to upkeep their lifestyle. So they lost the house, and you know where they went to live? A homeless shelter. And the new recruit is telling me this because he's a stud. He used to be in the financial industry. He's probably watching right now. What's up, David? And I don't know, man. As he was telling me this story, I realized, oh my God, what we do is real. Because if the average check that Primerica delivers is 300,000 and 6 million a day, man, if we could have gotten in front of them, possibly through field training, if we could have gotten in front of them, we could have saved them from a lot of heartache, right? I don't know why this turned purple, but products and extraction. Let me go into what I mean by that. Our life product versus their life product. If I ask you, Catherine, if you can break down a universal life insurance policy with confidence, what would you say?
No, I know what it is, but
You know
I
what
can't
it is.
break it down.
Good.
But I can explain why it's not beneficial to people that I know.
Good. Honestly, that's all that matters. But the larger of a gap that you create from what your client knows and understands to what you know and understand, that's what's gonna give you a lot of it's gonna give you a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's gonna give you an edge. It's gonna give you a confidence. It's called a value gap. Okay, and that value gap honestly is what helps me close. I just know a lot about, I know more about their products than they know. We did an agent confrontation, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago with a Transamerica dude that's been in business for, I don't know, he said like 12 years. And there's no way this 26-year-old kid could try and attack his character and his knowledge. He wasn't about to sit there and listen to that. That's what he said. But see, that's like a 6-year-old throwing a temper tantrum because he didn't understand his own product. Or he did, and that's much worse. I understand our life product more than they understand their life product. Next is qualified plans. Do you know what qualified plans are?
Married. They can be married, they have to be over the age of 60 or 50.
No, so you're confusing it with a qualified appointment, and that's okay. Qualified plans are certain retirement investment accounts that give you tax benefits. And you don't got to be investments licensed to talk about it. If you can master what a qualified plan is and regurgitate that to a potential client, my gosh, you have just increased your value gap.
What's that plan?
A qualified plan is a retirement investment account that gives you tax benefits.
Thank you.
Which is what the client wants, isn't it? So next is company history. How long has Primerica been in business, sir? 40 years, 60 years, 80 years, 90 years?
1977.
1977, okay. How many people started started the company? 85. Where did it start?
Georgia.
Duluth, Georgia, right? I don't even think it was that. I think it was somewhere else. What's the name of the founder? Don't say it. Don't say it. What's the name of the founder? What's your name? Yeah. Rihanna, do you know the name of the founder of Primerica? It's okay. So look, you're new. This is what I'm talking. This is what field training is. This is what teaching your new recruit about this stuff. The name is Art Williams. That's his name. Former teacher got taken advantage of by someone in the financial industry. He never forgave them for what they did to his mama. You see? I know that. Get securities license. I put that on purpose, man, because by not having, Sheila's in there recruiting 5 people right now, 5 guests. And you know what she did? You know what she was able to do? She was able to say, hey, look at this. I made $12,000 in one day. That's the close. What more do you need? And you know where it came from? It came from a securities client, right? You can extract information throughout a presentation, and you'll be more inclined to extract securities information about their old 401ks or any current IRAs, mutual funds they might have that you can compete with on returns, right? Fees, all that, if you are securities licensed. And then that leads to assets under management. See, someone told me once that there's 2 kinds of residual incomes. You've got assets under management, and then you've got assets under management. I wanted both. But to have both, you have to have your securities license, right? Presentation and duplication. Okay? Take a picture, take notes. Presentation, duplication. That's what I'm looking for. Honestly, I was just talking to someone near and dear to my heart last night, and she gave me a lot of gold wisdom and advice about what I need to focus on in terms of duplication. Make sure everything that you're teaching your recruits in the field training is simple. Set the table properly. When you're doing presentations, this is not just Primerica presentation, this is sales and anything, yes or no? You gotta set the expectations and you gotta set them early on. That's why I call it setting the table. You can't eat your dinner until you set the table. Next is master transitions. My gosh, transitions are the secret to any presentation. If you've got a smooth transaction, you can have a smooth close towards the end. Then it's master question types. If you look under those, look, somebody says the answers are in the questions. Questions pull people in, and statements push people away. You've got to learn how to ask good questions. So there's open versus closed questions. We're not going to go into the examples, but then there's duplicate and triplicate of choice questions. Write these down, ask your trainer today. Commitment questions, tie down questions, okay? Good salespeople, they're very pulley, not pushy. And they ask great questions, don't they? Collect data. Okay, look, so I got this from Grant Cardone. We got in his book, Sell or Be Sold. That's a nugget. In Grant Cardone's book, Sell or Be Sold, he says, collect some data so you could use it later. Oh my gosh, I do that all the time. In the beginning of the presentation, when we go, by the way, has anyone done any professional financial work for you recently? My gosh, that's one of the best points where you collect data. Why, yes, I actually set a life insurance plan up 2 months ago. Or yes, I recently rolled over my 401k. Or no, I have not had anything done. Either way, it's good to know. Early on, collect data so you can use it later. Then there's inflection. When you're presenting, are you monotone? Do you talk about compound interest like this? And if they put $200 in the bank, then they'll end up with 84,000. And if they put it into the return with 3%, they'll end up with 100,000, 6%, 280,000. But look at this, it's 12%, and then you'll have 1.3 million. You see, that's inflection. So yeah, I didn't even know we can do that. Emphasize certain things that require emphasis, and then your tonality. Look, people buy you, not Primerica, not even the product. They buy your confidence in the product and the company. Without you, They're not moving forward. And that's not Primerica thing. That's me talking to Shondell and Mike about going to a movie last night because I was excited to go. Would they have gone to the movies if I didn't call Shondell and say, hey, you want to go? I hear there's a good movie. I don't know. Maybe. Then there's the planned pause. You see what I did there? See, sometimes you think people are paying attention, but sometimes you've got to pause. I teach this to Xander all the time because sometimes he gets nervous when he's presenting and he just talks really fast and he never takes any sec. He doesn't take a second to take a breath and he thinks they're listening, but really they've tuned out. And you see, make sure they're paying attention. Small yeses lead to big yeses. If something happened to you early in life, you would want to make sure your family's taken care of, wouldn't you? And if we could put together a program that fits well within your budget, there's no reason that, well, you would implement that, wouldn't you? Okay, so I'd like for you to sign on the line which is dotted, and we don't say that. Are you ready to sign? That's the big yes. Now, we don't say that last part, but small yeses lead to big yeses. And then pay attention to their body language. My gosh, that's big. Body language is 90% of communication. And real language is 10%. Next. Okay, end result. All right, this is the finale, guys. One thing, and I literally slept on this. I woke up at 7 a.m. God woke me up and said, say this to the people. Yeah. Look. Field training equals wealth multiplier. Okay, so when you're field training, you have unlimited places to go. I was with somebody, right? You were with me, right?
Yeah.
The other day, someone called me, one of my agents, and he was like, Josh, do you have time to set an appointment?
Yeah.
I remember when I had no one to call and no one showing up for me. And he said, he was with me, he saw it. Man, I can't wait, Josh, for one day my team to call me and see if I'm busy. Do I have time to set an appointment? If you field train, first sell out on recruiting. But if you become a top-notch field trainer, you get all the goodies. All of them. Because everyone wants you to train them. And then field training bonus success stories. You create more stories, which makes you and your team more attractive. People want to join your team. They want you to field train them. And they stick around longer. Stories from and for trainees in what? The field. Stories from them. I just said one. I've got dozens of those stories that came from being in the field, big checks, and that leads to big money. I mean, are you money motivated? It's the fourth week of a new year. We're almost done with January. Field training is a wealth multiplier. Okay, and that last one is legs. If this is you, let's say, and you find a direct and you build a team under them, this is what I talked about at the event, and you drive down 4 deep, let's say, and you license all of them and you train all of them. And guess what? Now that they're trained, they're bringing in 10 sales a month. If you're a regional vice president, and let's say they are, I don't know, a division leader, that means you get 50% of the production this team brings in. And if they bring in, let's say, 12,000 of production a month, what's half of 12? Anybody? So $6,000 a month, which times 12 is $70,000 a year. Passive. You see, look, it's a wealth multiplier. It really, I mean, by going and field training one leg, I add another $70,000. If I have a base shot that's bringing in 50,000 of production, and I get a 20% bonus on that, you guys understand that's a $10,000 bonus, not including overrides? I mean, that's what I woke up thinking about this morning. And who's stopping you from doing this?
So-
The system. I watched something that came up on my YouTube from Gary Cornegay. He says, what is a system? A system means to save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. That's what a system is. That's what field training does. So hopefully this helped, guys. We're done, right? So we're done for the day. I really hope you guys go out and kill it in the field this week. And if anybody has any questions, I'll be around, all right?